Hey sweeties, welcome back to Quinn Cosplayer's Family Kitchen. Exciting wrap-up of Tamriel. Now, as you can see, the book that we have here is not Tastes of Tamriel, but the original Elder Scrolls cookbook. And part of the reason is that in looking at some of the really positive reception we got to some of our first posts on TikTok for this month, somebody posted a comment that just stuck with me, and that was, please tell me sweet rolls are coming up. And anybody who has played Skyrim knows the quote, "Don't tell me somebody stole your sweet roll," that you inevitably hear from one of the guards that you are passing by when you are in one of the cities of Skyrim. So I looked back through past videos, and in all the time that I've done Elder Scrolls, I cannot believe that I have not done this recipe. So I dug out my old favorite, and to wrap up Tamriel month, we are going to learn how to make some classic Skyrim sweet rolls. So without further ado, let's get to it. Action. Alright, sweeties, so we are ready to get our sweet rolls started. So we are going to start off with 3 tablespoons of melted butter. Pour it into the bowl right there. Then we are also going to add 1 cup of warm milk, like so. Then last but not least, we are going to add 2 tablespoons of honey. Unfortunately, the honey is moving pretty slow. So we will get that in. There we go. And 1 more. And there we go. So now we are going to want to give this a stir until the honey completely dissolves. Alright, we've got the honey nice and dissolved. So now we are going to add our next batch of ingredients, first of which is 1 egg. There we are. Oh, I'm going to need that later. So then we are also going to add just a pinch of salt here. There we go. Next, and probably most importantly, we are going to add 2 teaspoons of active dry yeast. 1 and 2. Then, last but not least, we are going to add 2 cups of flour. You're going to want to then stir this together until we get a nice batter. 1 and 2. There we go. Then once again, like I said, stir it together until you get a nice batter to form. Alright, sweeties, as you can see, we've got a very nice batter here. So now I've also gotten out a miniature bundt pan, and that is what we are going to use to give our sweet rolls their shape. So what we're going to want to do is kind of spoon this batter into the bundt pan, and it should give you anywhere between 4 and 6 buns or sweet rolls, if you will. And then once we get this spooned out, we are going to let it rise for about 30 minutes and then stick it in the oven for about another 15 minutes at 350 degrees. All right, sweeties, so we've got our rolls rising for about 30 minutes. So now is a perfect time for us to make our frosting that is going to go on top. So to start out with, I've got 2 tablespoons of cream cheese and a tablespoon of butter, and I soften both in the microwave for about 10 to 20 seconds. So what we are going to add next to this little concoction is going to be half a cup of powdered sugar. There we go. Let's see. Yep, that is half a cup. All right. All right, now we are going to want to slowly cream these ingredients together. And then while we are doing that, we are going to also slowly add 2 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. So let's get mixing on a nice low setting, like so. And the key is going to be you want to add just enough heavy whipping cream for the icing to kind of barely run off of a spoon. Get some of that frosting off. There we go. So now we are going to add our 2 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. There we go. There is 1. I'm going to try beating that one in. And then we will add another one if we need it. There we go. Get some of that frosting off. So dip the spoon in. And might want to add just a skosh more, maybe not the full extra tablespoon, so I might try to add just about half of that. There we go. Go. Get some of that frosting off the mixer. Dip the spoon in. Oh yeah, that's a much better consistency. Just about running off. So that is perfect, and we are going to set that aside until our sweet rolls come out of the oven, because we are going to want to let them cool for about 5 minutes before we ice them. So do not forget, you need to let your sweet rolls rise for about 30 minutes, then put them into the oven at about 350 degrees for another 15 minutes. All right, sweeties, well, these are nice and cooled and they came out perfectly. So now we are going to take our icing and kind of spoon it on like so. Now, to get the desired effect, you want it to kind of run down the sides a little bit, like so. So we are going to repeat that. With each one of these. There we go. Nice, smooth, and drippy. one more. Action. Sweeties, these are exactly like you would see in Skyrim. These turned out fantastically. So I really hope you all enjoyed Tamriel month. I really enjoyed getting to share these recipes with you, and I am so happy at the positive reception we've been getting on our socials for this month. It feels so good to be back. I am really looking forward to the next couple of months because we've got some really exciting and really fun shows coming up for you, and I cannot wait to experience them with you. So, bye, sweeties.